Yes, sir, we're
Are
ready.
we recording?
Mhm.
Good, good, good. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to come and spend some time with us. We've only got about 8 or 9 things on the agenda tonight, so it shouldn't take more than a couple hours. Pastor Davis, would you do the invocation, please?
Let's stand. Let's bow. Father, we thank you that we still can come to you and ask for you to help us and give us wisdom and guidance, God, in this meeting tonight. We ask you, Lord, to let every word that we say, God, be acceptable in your sight, God. Be with us now, God, and bless these your people that you empower tonight, God. They can give the decisions that's right in the kingdom of God. These things rest in Jesus' name. Amen.
Want to be? Thank you, sir. Mr. Chapel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated, everybody. All right, let's see what we got here.
I think I need to take a roll.
Would you call the roll, please, Madam
I
Clerk?
absolutely will, sir. Miss Barrett.
Here.
Miss Barrow.
Here.
Mr. Chappell.
Here.
Mr. Haney.
Here.
Mayor Kelly.
I am here, ma'am. Thank you. So first item would be the approval of the minutes from the last 2 or 3 meetings that we had. Everybody should have a copy of those in your package.
I'll make a motion that we approve them as presented.
Okay. We have a motion and a second, Madam Clerk. You call a roll?
I will. Miss Barrett.
Yes.
Miss Barrow.
Yes.
Mr. Chappell.
Yes.
Mr. Haney.
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes. So before we move on to items from the audience, Council, do you have any additions or deletions that you'd like to make to the agenda? Okay, so at this time, if there's anybody that would like to come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Let's discuss items that are not on the agenda for tonight. Now would be the time to come up and do so. Okay, very good. Thank you. I need to open the floor for public hearing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, should we have them come to the podium first? Not necessary?
Well, he'll need to come to the podium whether you do it
Now or later?
now or later.
Okay, the person that's going to represent the public hearing for 531 South Highway 22A. Would you please come to the podium? State your name and address for the record, please, and then I'm going to open the floor to public hearing.
I'm Michael Karch, 531 22A.
Okay, very good. The floor is open, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman's asking for a variance for the setbacks. This is the house that's got the caved-in roof, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Right there, yeah.
And to remind the council, there are 7 criteria for the variance, and it is incumbent upon the applicant to show by clear and convincing evidence that he is entitled to the variance by getting an affirmative vote on each of the 7 items.
Correct. On April, January, February, March, on May 14th, 2024, the Parker Planning Council did that variance test. Am I correct, right, in assuming that's what my notes say? And that he did agree, the Planning Council agreed that he was in need of this variance in order to be able to repair this property.
But the council also just needs to confirm the passage of the variance test.
All right. So before we give the variance test, is there anybody who would like to speak before council before we get started? Okay, thank you. Public meeting is closed. If you would, Mr. Sloan, give the 5,
7.
7.
Okay, can I speak?
The 7 criteria.
Hold on, Mr. Sloan. Okay,
I'd
go
like
ahead.
to speak on this. In order to, this is a triplex townhouse.
Right.
I don't understand.
It might be 4-plex, actually.
It's a duplex.
Two together,
2 together.
but there's more than one.
Right. There's a
Correct.
brick across the street from the Parker School, sir.
In order for this man to correct the problems for his neighbors that are living in that adjoining property,
That's correct.
he needs to fix this house.
Yes, he does.
I don't see why he needs to go through a variance request in order to repair this house to keep the longevity of the neighbor's house.
Yes.
That I don't see why he needs to do a variance.
I totally
request.
agree with you, and I'll tell you for a personal reason why, and he doesn't know this and you don't know this, but I went there on a med call, and the water had leaked through the ceiling of the damaged house that he's asking to repair and went under the wall of the neighbor's house, and his 2 or 3 year old child slipped on the wet tile and pushed his teeth through his lower lip. And I thought to myself, well, that's a heck of a note because you can't stop the water from coming in. So is this something you're saying, Mr. Haney, you want to move on without it?
I would like to make a motion to approve his building to repair the property for the safety of the whole dwelling, besides going through a variance.
We'd have to put it to a vote. So you're making a motion for
Yes,
that?
I'm making a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Madam Clerk, you call a roll.
Yes, sir. Miss Barrett,
Yes.
Miss Barrow,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
Mr. Haney,
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes, thank you, sir. Fix that house, make it look pretty.
Make it look pretty.
Thank
All
you.
right, sir. Next item is bid award for the SRF. Mr.
Good evening, council. This is to award the bid for the water system improvement project. We opened these bids back a while back, but through the SRF process of reacquiring a new loan for the different amount of money that was open in the bids, we have acquired that SRF loan now. We're in the process of getting the contract documents finalized so we can move forward with this. But the recommendation is to award the lowest bidder, which was Royal American, in the amount of $6,144,264 for this water system improvement project.
Right, conditioned upon the actual SRF loan
loan.
being approved.
What is it you're asking for, sir?
We need a motion to approve the recommendation to award the bid to Royal
Okay,
American
yeah.
in the amount of
For the
Make the
ones
motion
already,
to
okay.
approve the
Yeah, we need a first and a
bid
second to
Rural
vote it.
American
I'll second.
Well, conditioned upon the
Yes,
SRF
Right, right.
funding.
with
So-
the condition involved.
Right. So you making a first, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'll second.
And we have a second. Call a roll, Madam Clerk?
Miss Barrett,
Yes.
Miss Barrow,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
Mr. Haney,
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Are you gonna give Chapel some of that dirt?
I don't need it, I just was
Okay.
making
We
sure.
were just talking about dirt. I figured I better cover it one more time.
One of the people here.
Be yelling
to know
at me.
that
You'll be
we do
yelling
have
at me.
dirt if they need some.
Good Lord. 4395 Highway 98 parcel split.
And I
And-
believe Miss Jody Daniels was, oh, okay, there she
Is he here?
She.
She.
Yes.
Well, I'm standing on behalf of.
Yes, because they couldn't make it from Tennessee or wherever they were coming
And
from, right?
Tennessee.
And you're the folks who are gonna be buying
Yes,
this
ma'am.
piece. Okay, okay.
And it's on 4305 Highway 98. Where is that at exactly? What's it near?
It's right around here. It's
Oh,
on
okay, right in the
98.
curve,
It's
right there.
around the
Nice,
curve.
nice.
Yep, right across the.
They're gonna build a house there, build a home, put
We
something there?
are.
Very good. Is that a waterfront lot?
It is.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes.
Next to,
Oh,
oh, okay, very
Very
good.
nice.
Very good.
Very
That's
nice.
good, that's nice. And I have on my notes here that, let's see, January, March, April. On May the 14th, the planning council agreed that it was a doable, viable option by the planning council for the LDR. So they're here asking us to give them permission to split that lot so they can build a home.
I think when I was in the planning committee, they summarized that it was like a patio size width of property wouldn't permit them to build a house.
No, that's not
Was that
this.
a
This
different-
was number one. Yes, that was the,
Next
yeah,
one, okay.
that was Miss Williams.
I got you.
Then that
We
was
need
for
some more dirt,
variance.
Tony.
Yeah.
Good God,
No,
man.
this one actually had plenty of space
Okay.
for it, so there was no need. And so you'll notice
Next
in
to
your,
Alfred Street.
yeah, you'll notice in your packet, you already
Well,
have
you're
a
right.
property appraiser approval letter. That means it meets all of the LDR
Okay,
guidelines.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Different-
sir.
Different property.
Yeah.
There's like a dirt road goes between the two right there.
Yeah, but if you come off of 98, you gotta go on what's the name of that? Offer, yeah.
Alfred, yeah. So it'd be, off 98, it'd be right on Alford and on the dirt road back
So,
there.
do we need a motion to approve this?
We did need a motion to approve it.
Make that
And,
motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr.
okay,
Haney.
we have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a second. You figure what's that, Miss Barrow, now in your mind? As you're going around the curve,
Well, I know around the curve in Alford Street, so there's one line that one right there.
right immediately behind it.
Offord Street goes this way.
Right.
You have to go down Offord Street to get to it or back through Offord.
Or by the alley,
By
yeah.
the, Horn Avenue.
Or by Horn Avenue coming through the alley.
Well, how can that be touching 98?
Alfred runs on the side of the property. This property is not where he's saying it is. It's 98. It's split by 98.
Okay, on the other side?
No, no.
You know the double wide?
Yeah.
If you see the double wide, cut the property right in half.
That's
And
right.
half that property in Alford, that's gonna be a lot.
There's Alford Street. There's.
And you should both know that you can't obstruct that road, right? Because that's the only way back there for ambulances and
Right on 98.
emergency services. That's the only way back there, which I don't know why it was never paved, but it never was.
On the right side between
Right,
there.
as you're looking at Alford Street,
Okay.
it's on the right-hand side.
I was trying to figure out
Very good.
Okay.
how it met on 98. I
Yep.
just wasn't sure about that.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a first, a second. You call a roll?
Yes, sir. Ms. Barrett?
Yes.
Ms. Barrett?
Yes.
Mr. Chappell?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
Yes.
Mayor Kelly?
Yes. Good luck.
Thank y'all.
Build a pretty house.
And I would like to say this. I would like to say that, we are loving Parker. Like, we're new.
It's a great place to live.
Yeah, we're
We love to hear
originally
that.
from Lynn Haven, so we were just across the pond, but we came over here, and I just fell in love with Parker. And so I want you guys to know that if y'all need anything, I mean, we're excited to be here.
You know where to find us now.
That's what we need.
Thank you,
We
ma'am.
need neighbors that love being here. That's
That's
what
right.
we need.
That's what
I
we're looking
just
for.
voted yes because I like your husband's hair.
You like his barber?
We share the hair. That's the one thing I like.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Very good.
Okay.
Who made the motion? Who seconded that?
Hey, John Haney made the motion.
And Ms. Barrett?
I just, everybody was talking.
So 2 weeks ago, I brought up to you guys about the pickleball. Are my pickleballers here tonight?
They are.
All right, if you would come to the podium, please. I don't think I explained it properly the last time, and I've invited them to come and see if I can explain it again and then catch my mistakes, okay? I've known these people for probably a few months since they've been coming over to the sports complex, and there's a large amount of them that like to play pickleball. My understanding is they like one Sunday of every month for 7 months reserved where they can play pickleball on the courts for their league that they've got, and that in return, to help us out, they'll tape the tennis courts so that they can use one side for pickleball and the other side would still remain for use of anybody else that wanted to play pickleball. And any of the council members, I know Mr. Chappell has been going over there and has conducted a straw ballot, because before the question was, would we stop Parker people?
Not a straw ballot, just an
Parker
inquiry.
people from being able to use the courts? That was one of the questions. I didn't have an answer. So, Mr. Chappell, you have the floor.
Yes, on the 8th of May through the 22nd of May, there's been 141 people playing pickleball. That while I was there doing the survey. On the 9th of May, which was a Sunday, there was a man from Parker with a church group that played on Thursdays. And on the 16th, he was there playing on Thursday. I talked to him, and he says the only time he plays is with the church group that goes over there, which are about 10 to 12 people, and he only plays on Thursday. That's the only man out of 141 from Parker that plays pickleball. Now, I don't know if there's anybody in the audience here that plays pickleball, but I haven't seen you yet. You might have come when I wasn't there. But anyway, I've got one man out of Parker that plays pickleball. On Sunday, the 7th, I'm sorry, Sunday on the 12th at 5:20 to 6:30, there were 7 people playing pickleball at that time. I talked to some of them there and asked them what they would thought about if we had a group come over here and reserve the court on a Sunday of the first of the month. And they informed me that they would like to see it and maybe see how the thing runs, and maybe they would try to get a team up to join in the competition.
Let's go.
So I said, well, I don't know about that, but I'm sure you'd be welcome to come over and take a look and see how things are run. And then on the 21st of May, which is this last Sunday, at 8 o'clock in the morning, there was nobody playing pickleball. I went back about 10:40 and stayed there for 12, and there were 12 people playing pickleball. I talked to a couple of those about what they thought about reserving the court one Sunday a month, and they said, we have no problem with it. We can always, and they were from the Cove, the people there. So the people from the Cove come down. And then at 5 o'clock to 5:45 Sunday, I was over there again, and there were 8 people from Panama City playing. So as far as a man from Parker, or people from Parker, the Parker residents don't seem to be using it. There were some tennis court out. I didn't spend too much time with the people on the tennis court, but out of the days that I went, I only saw 4 people playing tennis. And one of the couples also played pickleball, but the other couple didn't. So anyway, that's kind of my survey that I've been for the last 2 weeks or so. So I don't see where it's a problem for people from Parker to be upset if the team here that wants to go reserve for one Sunday a month, I don't see where it's a big problem.
So that being said, I state again that the things that they asked for that I brought up to the citizens and to the city council 14 days ago, I would like for us to consider and approve them the opportunity to play their sport on that court on the first Sunday of each month for 7 or 8 months, and allow them to have maybe a sandwich truck out there or a Coca-Cola truck or whatever, so that they have refreshments. The last time they had a tournament over there, I personally went over and checked, and there was over 60 people playing. There was no trash. They did not tear up the bathrooms. No one set the pirate ship on fire. No one had to go to jail. It was just they were really good people, and it was eventless. So I ask you again, council, I'd like for us to consider, based on Mr. Chappell's observations, which is pretty good, Ron, allowing them to do what they're asking for.
So you're saying 7 months?
Sundays,
Every
for the
single
remainder of the
month
year.
for the rest of this year. And hopefully if it's successful, we'd like to do it again.
That's
next
right.
year as well.
That's right.
Yeah. But
And
for now,
that would be
to the end
subject
of
to
the
an
year,
agreement.
we'll go from there.
They have to sign an agreement and provide insurance.
Well, you know, with any kind of agreement, you
I
make,
don't know, no, because nobody else has been required to do it.
No, you have that, right?
with any kind of agreement you make, even if you go to a motel room, you still have to pay a deposit on using that facility. Whether you got 10 kids or 15 kids or whatever, you still have to pay a deposit. So how are you gonna compensate the city for the usage, the rental of the
Well, John, we're not legally allowed to rent it, but they can make a charitable donation to Parks and Recreation.
And that's what we plan on doing.
Yeah.
What about the Peak Park? That's a rental.
But it's designed differently. The way the land was obtained and the building was built, the funds were differently obtained differently than the park.
I see.
Now, that's what I'm being told. Mr. Sumlin, could you shed any light on this? You know a lot more about the dirt than I do.
Well, my understanding that me and Mr. Sloan have talked back and forth, that the park can't make a profit. The park can make funds for lights, power, maintenance, screens on the fences. So the city can't make a profit off the park, but we can take the donations or whatever the charge is and put the money right back into the park. We just can't.
So in other words, they just put it in the Parks and Recreation. He'd spend it as he needed it.
It's because all the park property was bought under a grant, and that grant restriction is that the city can't generate a revenue profit off the land.
So unfortunately, if we make a donation to you, you can't use it maybe to help the fire department
No.
maybe or
No,
anywhere else.
it would have to go.
in the
That's
park.
what I said to you in the beginning when we first started talking. You'd have to take it that Monday after the Sunday of play and made a donation to the ladies in the front out there, and they have an account for Parks and Recreation, and they would just slip it in there, deposit it, give you a receipt, and then Mr. Sumlin uses that for not just this park, but lots of parks in Parker to do different things, you know?
Right,
And that's what I would want it for too, because part of the recovery for this project across the street is gonna be more trees. And then we talked about in the past, the possibility of more pickleball courts. If you got your 501c3, you could get that federal funding that's available. And we could make a marriage between our land and your grant and put some more over there, you know? So, I just think that, well, we just need to get through today first. So it'd be a donation, John, would go to, Parks and Recreation.
What would you consider a donation?
Well, I guess it just all depends how many people we get signed up.
Yeah, because every person playing in this league is gonna pay money every single time we go to play.
Do you charge a fee to join the league?
Yeah, there's a league fee
Yeah.
that they get charged. Yeah.
I see.
So we're also making a contribution to a charity as well. So probably go 50-50 maybe. But, you know, it may change every single month, may not be the exact same amount of money.
What is it, a monthly?
Yes, we're doing this every single month for the
I mean, as
rest
far
of
as
the
your dues, do you have a monthly set of dues?
Yeah, it's gonna be monthly. So
What's your average set of dues for the month?
so this is our first time running this type of tournament. So right now the entry fee is $60
Per person?
per person, correct? Per person.
And how many people do you have playing this?
So currently right now we have 45 signed up.
Oh,
to
so
play.
it's a good chunk of.
Correct. So
Pretty
but
good
we pay back to the players. So it's not
We're gonna
we
win
just
money
take
for first, second, and third
Correct.
place.
correct.
And
Okay.
the extra money's gonna go to
To Parker
Parks and Rec
and then the charity.
and then to a charity.
Well, I'd like to see Parker being the winner in each
Well, then
bunch.
you
and
need to learn how to
most
play
amount
the
of
game
money
and
for the
get out
city.
there and be the
Yeah,
captain
that's
of the
my
team
opinion.
and get yourself
Correct.
a team in it.
No,
We
I,
give lessons for
Come on,
free,
let's
sir.
go.
I don't play well with others.
Maybe you need to play singles then
No,
instead
no,
of
no.
doubles.
No, I don't.
So the idea is, so you know, to give you guys a little history on pickleball. So pickleball is the fastest growing sport, 3 years running in the United States. There's 35.5 million players. It's grown 223% over the last 3 years, and it's projected to grow 7.7% year over year until 2028. It's an exploding sport. Everybody, you probably know somebody in your family that plays it, and if you don't, they just haven't said that they play it yet. So we're here to give the pickleball community something that they can count on each month, and then also give back to the community through pickleball.
Could you obligate a certain amount of money per
So the-
usage of the park?
So the only thing with that is, with this being our first tournament, we have no data points to go off of to say, okay, Mr. Haney, we can do this because historically we make $500 every tournament, so we can guarantee you're going to get this based off historic. So right now we can't tell you because we don't have any data points.
Understood.
So we're just coming at you with first time, like, give us a chance to show you that, like, we can get this growing, we can get this off the ground, and then we can the more people we get to the courts, the more money we can give back to Parker for your generosity and letting us.
Well, I'd like to see the park being used, but I don't
Yeah.
want to see the city sucking eggs. to be
Oh
honest
yeah,
with
of
you.
course. No, we wouldn't expect you to suck eggs. So we 100% agree. Yeah.
Is that a sport?
Wiffle ball.
Wave sucking.
Can I get your, I know Karen, but I don't know your name.
I'm Gavin, ma'am. Gavin
Gavin.
Choosible.
What's the name of your entity?
So it's Sunsets and Dinks LLC. Sunsets and Dinks LLC.
Can you spell?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So it's actually.
Corporation.
There we go. Got it.
And no, get his.
CHOOSAKUL. Oh, you're asking for my last name?
Yes.
Sorry, ma'am.
That's okay.
You got confused in there.
Sunset.
Oh, okay, sir. You good? Did you get that?
I got that.
And can you spell your name again? I missed it.
Yeah.
Let's
so
narrow this down to 2 minutes, can't we? I mean,
Right?
good God.
CHOOSAKUL. Just like musical, but you.
S-A. Okay.
So who's Dinks?
So it's an actual move in pickleball. So it's like a light
Shot.
pat
I got you.
over the
It's a
kitchen.
shot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's where you just barely dink the ball over the net.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is I'm kind of with Ron on the situation. I mean, basically, when it comes down to it, you can't have people at Parker mad if people at Parker are not using.
Yeah, that.
Don't,
Yeah.
you can't be mad at something if you're not there.
Right.
So,
And
I'm
you
all
know-
for it,
and
really.
you know what?
I'd like to
We
see
could
it be
even
used.
put on a free clinic and invite, through your website, invite the people from Parker to come out and learn how to
And
play
maybe,
the game.
and maybe there are people in
And then
Parker
if
who
they
need something to
don't-
do.
Correct.
Yeah, and then if
I-
they don't, that's
mean,
kinda on them.
So this
you
is
know?
something that people can use to, hey, I might wanna try it.
So this
Yeah.
is where we kind of see our relationship going.
Baseball
so,
contract.
You know,
Well, no,
granted,
I
maybe
grew up
maybe
a
we're not
sport
giving
complex.
you a
Okay.
monetary value where you like to see just yet, but we're here to offer our services for free. So like
I mean-
we would love to host a clinic for anybody in
Can we
Parker
say
Me
that amount?
personally,
to come.
I'm not
Well,
focused
it
on the
won't
money
be at the
part.
giant
I
amount.
really
Okay.
don't care if
But-
it was $10 or
Okay.
$200.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Regardless, it's being put back
Okay.
into the park, so
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
happy with that as
Yes,
it is, and I wanna see it being used.
So-
And like I said, maybe get some people from Parker to
Sure.
want to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I make a motion to approve.
Oh, before we motion,
Oh.
I need to discuss, go ahead, sir.
There's 4 tennis courts.
There's one
4
tennis
pickleball courts and
Mm-hmm.
4 tennis courts, but they're gonna split one into a pickleball court with tape on the
What's
ground.
the difference between pickleball and tennis courts? It's the same.
Probably about 9 3/4 inches or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
pickleball court's smaller.
Smaller.
Yeah, but one tennis court, we can put a here's the center, the net of the tennis court. You put one pickleball court this way and one pickleball court this way. And tape it off, and then we use a net that's on wheels.
They've done it already, I watched them do it.
Temporary.
Yeah.
I watched them do it.
They're gonna
Make it
use one whole tennis
temporary.
court,
And
like
make
you have
it
a net and
smaller.
tennis court,
Right.
you have 2 sides of a tennis court. Each side is gonna have its own pickleball game.
So you'd reserve one tennis court?
No,
Yeah,
they
so we're gonna
reserved the
use-
pickleball.
We're gonna use your court.
Correct.
We only have one
You only
tennis
have
court.
one
We have
court.
one tennis
One
court.
tennis court
But
and
they're gonna
4
be able to
pickleball
turn
courts.
into
There's
2
two.
pickleball.
So
No,
what
there's
They're gonna
we're-
make that into 2 pickleball courts instead of 1 tennis court.
Well, so what
For
sorry,
the day.
what we're gonna do is, so we're gonna use your 4 courts to run our league, and then in case there's any Parker residents or any other residents that want to use or play pickleball during our league time,
They'll
we're
have a
gonna-
court.
We're gonna set up a temporary court on the tennis court so they can still come and enjoy and play pickleball.
So if I show up and wanna play tennis by myself, I wouldn't be able to play.
That's
No,
right.
that's right.
You would not be able to play tennis.
No, he technically.
No, then we'll set up,
Wait a
Wait a
we-
minute, I
we-
would like to see that
He's not
first.
the only one in Parker that plays tennis.
Technically, you
all
could,
the-
sir. We could move the net out of the way, and you would have a tennis court back in action.
Well,
With
I feel
pickleball
more
lines
comfortable with
on
that,
it, but
but
yeah, assuming no other pickleball players
Well,
stay
I
in.
When's the
don't
last
usually-
time you played tennis?
by myself,
Ever?
So,
Well,
J-
I'll tell you what, this guy from Parker that did play tennis, play pickleball, he's got a machine that he throws a bunch of balls in there, and it's like a baseball machine or so, and it kicks in the, and that, the first time I saw him, I was like, that's what he was doing. He was by himself, and he was,
Practicing.
Playing
He's
by
working
himself.
on his ground shots or
well,
whatever.
the
playing
machine
with,
goes
playing
and
with
throws,
himself, I should say
throws the
that.
ball.
He probably doesn't play well with others either, so.
so, can I get a word in here? So, a couple of things that I need to talk to you about that we haven't spoke about yet. We have a standard contract that you'll have to sign for the use of the property over there. It's like same for the basketball or whoever, whatever they do. And Sloan's gonna provide a copy of that to the city clerk. And we'll contact you to get all that taken care of and filled out. How would you feel about half of the net profit going to the city and half going to your charity?
I think you said 50/50.
Well, that's
Yes, that's what she
ballpark
said.
what I just said.
50-50, regardless of what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Barrett made a motion, now I'll second.
We got a motion in this.
I think we.
No, Miss Barrow wants to have conversation. She's
Yeah,
been waiting.
she's not-
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, Miss Barrow, please.
We can go play tennis.
Well, I was gonna say that a lot of reason why people aren't out there is cause it's too hot to play it out there in the middle of the day. There's only certain hours that most people are gonna get out there and play. It's gonna be early morning or in the evening. And 2, didn't we have a group, maybe this group did last year or something?
There was them.
That was
Yeah.
that had that one little
Mhm.
tournament thing where he said we had the 60 people or whatever.
It was, but it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I saw,
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And that was actually part of the Panhandle Pickleball Club.
okay.
That was an event
So-
that we put on there.
So what do you think, Miss Barrow? What about your times, Ron? That was morning, noon, and night, right?
Yeah, I went every day in the morning, and then I went at night. And then when I left there, I went over to the pier every day to see how many people are fishing too, so.
Oh, well,
I did
okay.
a lot of traveling for the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
So what hours do you want it?
So 9 a.m. is when we're gonna start.
At 5, what, 9 to 5? 8 to 5, let's say 8 to 5.
Yeah. And it's probably gonna be over sooner. Again, we just gave us extra buffer time until we get some.
That'll be
people.
fine, be fine.
No loud music or nothing like that, or?
Nah, I mean, we'll have some
We'll
music
have some
playing, but it's
music,
not
but
gonna
it's
be
not gonna
like.
be
Plus
loud.
"Ah."
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Reggae.
No
It was reggae when I was
announcements or
there.
Nothing like that, would
Yeah.
disturb the neighborhood or?
No.
When
Understood.
was the first
June
day?
2nd.
June 2nd.
June 2nd.
Yeah, that'll be your first day. In the
And we
event,
need the contract signed before then, correct?
yeah, we'll get it done tomorrow, next day.
I'm on standby, ready to go.
We gotta vote on it first.
Yes, sir.
It's 7 months, that would be all the way to, December.
Well, if the attorney can email you that copy tomorrow, we can call him and get him down here to sign it and then hand carry it back. So,
But I will say one thing, it was a Saturday, it was raining, and there was a couple playing, and it was just kind of sprinkling.
well, the
And,
ball's designed for that, Ron.
I sit around there and
They
waited
play in the
for it
rain.
to come out,
Not really.
and I said, how come you playing in the rain? They said, well, we haven't finished the game yet.
That's dedication, Ron.
Dedication.
That's called competitiveness. That's all. It can actually get dangerous when it does sprinkle on the lines, because the lines become slick.
Yes.
And you can really slip and fall, so it's really.
And if you put the tape
Well,
down the night
just- I thought
before and
it
it
was
rains.
interesting
Yeah,
that-
like last time, all the tape came out, and we had to redo it again.
I do have a question though. This is my last question, my last thing. In the event that it does rain on a Sunday, what is your action as far as?
Probably gonna have to cancel.
So it's our action is actually to reschedule for the following Sunday.
Okay.
In the
Perfect.
event of that.
Okay.
Any more conversation, council? Good. We have a first and a second. Would you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Ms. Barrett?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes. Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Mr. Chappell?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
Yes.
Mayor Kelly?
Yes. Thank you, council. Thank you, guys. Have a good
Hey, guys,
event.
thank you so much.
Have a good pickleball.
Donna asked if they'd have an orthopedic surgeon available for the clinic.
Yeah, we have an orthopedic surgeon on call when I blow out a knee.
We're all going to the
Yeah, we're gonna, well, Jamie's not.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Oh, Lord.
So, second item that we talked about 14 days ago that we'd like to go over one more time, because again, I was poorly equipped with correct answers. And item 5 on the agenda is the Parker Sports Complex trunk sale, and that's basically a yard sale. They call it a trunk sale because it's coming out of the trunk of your car. Mr. Chappell, you had the floor.
Okay, we had a little citizens, a Parker citizens group get together, and they put the flyer together, and talked about this little map on the back, and I think we had 5 people at the meeting, and they thought it was a good idea. If any of them, they got 3 or 4 of them here. In fact, when I hear,
I'm the one that put everything together, the map and the little flyer. So, the map is so you have an idea of what we were talking about as far as location at the park, near enough to the restrooms, underneath the trees in the shade, where we would put parking, things of that nature, not taking up parking for the courts and things of that nature, which will have someone kind of guide folks to where they need to be. And then, of course, if you look at the front of it, no charge, but we're going to ask for a donation to the Parks and Recreation Department, as discussed earlier. Vendors have to be set up by 7:45. Of course, you know, you can bring your own tents, tables. There will be no electricity or water provided, so do what you got to do. And then you're responsible for your own cleanup and trash removal. And we will have someone when things are
Yeah,
set
they're-
up,
they're all
go
gonna have
around
to sign up.
and get
Okay.
name and phone number at least for who is out there vending. And that way, if there is trash or something of that nature, we can say, you know, you're not allowed anymore because you left a mess when you were here last time, that kind of thing.
And I only called it a trunk sale because I didn't know what to call
No,
it.
it's
So we
a-
can
I
call
mean,
it a,
technically
we
in
can
Europe,
call it
they
a
call it
community.
boot sale, so they sell out of the boot of their car, which is the trunk.
So to make you aware, Mr. Chappell, you will have to sign a contract with the city. So, that would, I guess, be you signing that, if the council votes to allow you to do it.
Yeah, otherwise each vendor would have to sign one.
Yeah. So, okay. So, very good. Thank you, ma'am. Council, we need some guidance and some conversation and, decide where we want to go.
I so wish we can go back to the Parker Heritage Days we had back
They were great, weren't they?
years ago. When
They were good.
Maybe it eventually, if this works out, we can incorporate that together as
Yeah.
the Parker.
I
Heritage
love those.
Days.
I did. They were great.
That was awesome.
If any of you lived in Parker back then, then we used to do a heritage day, and we would all gather up in the sports complex, and
That was Miss Barrow's brainchild from.
it was her brainchild, and we would have vendors come, a lot of vendors one year, and we would have just a really good. It was a really good event. I'd like to see it happen again this fall.
It would be a lot better now because you have so many food trucks and
Right,
things
that would be good.
and
but-
craft things that
Yeah.
people do.
But what you did before, Tanya, was just phenomenal. It was.
Well, and remember we did the fish fry with the mullet?
Yeah, that was really good. We made $4,000 for charity that day. So,
And
Hey.
the car crush. We had the car beat down too.
yeah, we put the car out there and beat it for $1 a slick with and knocked it out with a hammer. That was a really good day too.
We're gonna use your Toyota for that.
Yeah, because it's the oldest truck in Bay County.
I don't know about that one.
But Mr. Chappell, do you have anything you want to talk about other than what we've talked about?
No, I'd like, other than, I'd like to try it, see if it works. If it don't work, it's nothing saying that we can't just say, okay, we're not gonna do it.
Right.
But, I would like to at least, give the community a chance to see if they want to or don't want to.
Well, see, maybe we could even get some folks come and sell like honey and stuff like that, and begin that way.
Well,
With their
eventually
trunk
we could
sale.
Get into, not just a yard sale type thing, but, might wanna get into vegetables.
Right, farmers market,
farm-
Well, they
and
got-
expand it.
She's got it on there as home goods, arts, crafts,
Right.
clothing, toys, etc.
And see, like Mr. Haney says, since we're talking about it, I'd like to see it grow back to what it used to be. And once a year have the Heritage Day like we used to. I mean, it was really, really good back when we did it. And then just have this as a monthly thing that we would do anyway.
Well, I don't think we said monthly, but,
Or how often would you want to do it? People are going to want to do
the
it.
whole thing, just to see what happens.
Let's just do it once and see what happens, yeah? Because the first time might be slow, and then people will go, wow, I'd like to do that, and then they'll do it a month later or whatever, you know? And the other thing I'd like to think about is getting a car show going out there. Some people have said to us, you know, that they like to put their cars on display. Is that Jamie Heinrich? You quitter? I think that a car show once a month, I used to go to them a couple times at Winn-Dixie, and it was really, really good. And I know a lot of folks who live in Parker got old cars. And mine are just old. Huh?
That's all we can afford is old cars.
Well, that's what I say. Most people in Parker got a classic car already. They just drive it every day. So, council, what do you think? Now we're talking about it for, again,
Well, I don't see where we have to vote on it, just let him do it, you know?
Yeah, I'm with her on that one.
well, we're going to
At least
vote on
just
it because he's
try it
going to
out.
sign a contract.
Okay.
Mr. Sloan
I'll
just
make a
told me he's,
motion that we allow him to have his community yard sale.
I'll second that one.
got a first and a second. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Miss Barrett,
Yes.
Miss Barrow,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
Mr. Haney,
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Absolutely, yes. Do a good job, Ron. There's one last item, and I'm going to cover this, I think, for everybody. And then, Ron, if you feel like you need to jump in there, please do. Without getting into a lot of personal details, Item 6 is the sports complex outdoor recreational facility pole barn. For a long time, we've wanted to put an outdoor educational facility out there. In other words, the kids could walk with their lunch from park or school, come into the playground area in the back of the park, up the new stairs, and they could use the park area back there, not the toys so much, but this proposed building to have as outdoor educational facility. Someone would provide chalk, depending on the age, to draw on the concrete, or these boxes to move around into different shapes, or ant nests. Which everybody laughs at me about these damn ant nests, because I haven't seen one. But this is a glass box, you put the ants in, and and then it's like someone told me today, if you shake it, it's an etch-a-sketch. They start over again.
Oh my God.
You know, so.
An ant-a-sketch is what you
etch-a-sketch.
said.
Yeah, right. Which often in my day, I want to reset sometimes, you know.
What did you say
So-
you'd be doing?
Yeah, smashing them. So,
You'd be eating all the chalk.
Mr. Chappell has been, and we've slowed his roll because we want to make sure we're right on this, and I want to explain it to you properly. Mr. Chappell is willing to buy a 20 by 80 foot pole barn out of his pocket, and he would give the money to Parks and Recreation, and then it would be deposited, and then Mr. Summerlin, I would ask him to go down and select a 20 by 80 pole barn, and then Mr. Summerlin would put it on his trailer or on his truck, and then deliver it, and then we would erect it in the park. As an extension of that, once it was up, and when we get some extra cash, so you imagine a pole barn is like this, and then when we get the extra money, drop down a couple of feet and put 2 wings on it. So it would be 80 by 80, like that, right? And eventually, maybe someone would give us some money, or we could do a fundraiser, or we get enough parks donations or whatever, and we'd have the whole bottom of it concreted. So we'd have an 80 by 80. First of all, we can have a 20 by 80, but then add on the other wings and the other concrete. I'm bringing this to you because it's got to be voted on. It would become Parker property at the time. Well, it wouldn't become Parker property. I'm lying to you. He would make a charitable donation to Parks. We will agree tonight that we will take that charitable donation and we will buy the appropriate pole barn. Mr. Summerlin will. And however it gets here, do they bring it, or would you bring it? They'll deliver it. Okay. So they would deliver it to Mr. Summerlin, and then Public Works, you notice, put up 2 pole barns. Will erect this pole barn at the back of the sports complex. We haven't decided yet exactly where, but it's got to have enough room where it won't impact the ball field, but it will accommodate the 2 wings on the outside. Imagine when that concrete goes in there. If you wanted to have an outdoor party for your family, you got this giant outdoor building where we can move the tables and chairs up in there, and you can have a huge cookout in the back of the sports complex and have a building for everybody to be in. Not for rent, but just because it would be a nice thing. But I will tell you, this particular thing will have a plaque on it. It will be dedicated to Mr. Chappell's daughter. And I told him, I said, if we're going to build it, that's all he wants. That's small price to pay for the citizens of Parker. So there you go, council. That's what the proposal is on the floor. I'd like to, if there's any conversation, we should do it now. Is this something we want to do?
Well, I make a motion that we go ahead.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you call a roll, please?
Yes, sir. Miss Barrett.
Yes.
Miss Barrow.
Yes.
Mr. Chappell.
Yes.
Mr. Haney.
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes, thank you very, very much, council. This is going to be wonderful. So, one last item. Tuesday. It's not on the agenda. This is, you guys will all get a chance to speak to this in a minute, but you may remember several months ago we received 2 $1,000 donations for Memorial Park. Yesterday, Mr. Chappell met with the bricklayer, and we have agreed upon a price to brick in the memorial. Tuesday,
The flagpole.
Around the flagpole, yeah. Yep. Tuesday, Mr. Summerlin, another Public Works employee, Mr. Chappell, and me, if they'll take me, are going to go to Freeport to spend that money to buy the appropriate bricks and mixture that you put with the sand. Is it mortar? Concrete? Whatever it is. Mortar mix. And bring it on Summerlin's truck and then deliver the bricks to the yard and then put the mortar someplace dry. Okay? The bricklayer is a Parker man, 5th generation, maybe 6th generation. Their families were founders here. You may remember, if you've lived here any length of time, Officer Baxley. He left here and went to work for the state of Florida. And his uncle is a Pennington. The whole family's of bricklayers. They do phenomenal work, phenomenal. And the week after next, if we get the delivery next week, if we get the material Tuesday, which we should, they'll start working the following week to build the memorial. And he feels like he can build it in 2 days. And the only thing he asked me, the only thing he asked me was, did we have a way of transporting water to the cemetery, because the cemetery has got some repairs that need to be made down there, and while he's doing this project, he'd like to make those repairs. No cost, he just does it. So we have a tank in the yard. We'll give him the tank and tow him his water down there so he can mix up the mud he needs to do this stuff. But that's my conversation. I would like, we're not voting on this. It's just something I wanted to make you aware of. Is there anybody that would not support putting that around the flagpoles? So basically what you'd have is a wall, how tall, 36 inches, Ron? 32 inches?
32 and 34.
Double layer wall, concrete in the inside with, what did he call it, connector brick? Turn bricks going around the top. Mr. Chappell's got 2 angels he wants to put on each corner. And the plan is that if you have a relative, DOD, Navy, Army, or whatever, that fell whilst active duty, or even retired, doesn't matter for that matter, and you want to buy a plaque, they're $20 each. And Ron will take care of getting it cut and then mount it on the brick on the inside of the memorial. So as you walk into that, the flagpoles will be on the inside, then the memorial wall, and then the names will be on the inside of that. And I'm open to anybody that wants to inject a little.
Well, that would be anybody, even people that didn't retire but served in the military.
Yeah, oh yeah. But mostly it's gonna anybody. But they're gonna be like we were talking about. What about
It could be people from
Bean.
DOD employees that were working for the Central Intelligence Agency that fell in Laos? They deserve to go on that wall too. So, and that was bringing us back to Sergeant Bean, because although he was active duty Army, he was working outside of the scope of what we were doing as a military at that time. So anyway, is that something that the council would be interested in helping support? Okay, you have the floor, Ron.
Well, that's all we're going to do is just, it has to be military or related to a military person. And the plaques, like you said, they're about $20 a piece, and we'll put them on the bricks. So when you got a relative or a husband or something like that you want to honor, we can put his name on there and do that. So it'll be an ongoing thing even after I pass away.
Do we know what the plaque things will look like?
What are the plaques going to look like?
I did this at the Shrine building, and we used metal, but over a few years the metal tarnished and stuff like that. So I talked to the guy that was doing the cutting out and stuff like that. He said if you use this plastic that we got, it won't, it's black plastic and then it's white lettering carved into the plastic, and he says the plastic will last for years. So that's probably what we would go.
So we'll just have their name and what
service that they.
in
Name, rank,
honor of-
battalion, probably.
in honor of so-and-so. Maybe he was in the army or something like that, and he could put, if he was in the army for 20 years or something like that, put down 1961 through 1960 or 80.
Right.
Whatever, you know, it's up to the individual, whoever wants to put it. Maybe got some Civil War people, I don't know.
There's actually some Civil War graves at the cemetery in Parker, in the far right corner. All right, John, you got the floor.
I'm all set. Thanks, boss. Appreciate it.
Ms. Barrow,
I can't think of anything.
okay, sure. Ma'am,
I'm good.
sure. Mr. Sloan,
No, sir.
Actually, I'm waiting to see, John Haney over there play tennis by himself.
I'm waiting to see Sloan's thing come tomorrow. Right? That's what he's thinking right now. He's writing that contract.
I'm real fast.
that's what we heard.
Real fast.
Madam Clerk, you got anything?
I have not a thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.